You know that friend who only talks about their problems with you and they just won't keep quiet. They just talk over you and just keep sharing about how their life sucks. That's how God feels when we pray sometimes. We're just like talking to Him at like a one-way street, just blabbering about our own problems. And I know in the previous video I said we should talk to God about our problems. But would you want a friendship where it's just one person talking and the other person listening? A relationship with God is just like a relationship with a human being. It has to be a two-way street. We have to speak, but we also have to listen and sit in silence, acknowledge God's presence, and just say to Him that you're here, that you're willing to listen. I've done this and my life has changed because I've had more clarity. There was this one time in the retreat where we were praying in silence. There was this girl on my left, and I asked God, "What do you want me to do?" And He told me, "Hug the girl." So I told God back, "No, I'm not hugging her." Then God said, "Okay, fine. Just ask her how she is. Just talk to her." So I talked to her, and she got to open up about how she lost her she lost her uncle, who was very dear to her heart, and I was able to be there for her and listen. And that to me is just an amazing moment. And I wouldn't have done that because I'm a coward. And if I didn't listen to God's advice, I probably wouldn't have done that. God knows what's best for us, even though it's difficult, even though it's uncomfortable to follow His advice. But in this book, there's an excerpt. I'm going to read it out for you. It says, God's most dynamic two-word description of Himself is I am, meaning He is everything that is perfect and excellent and complete and flawless. Everything we will ever need Him to be to fulfill us. Everything we will ever need for Him to work in us in order to conform us to the image of His dear Son. Everything we will ever need to work through us to make Him known to others. He tells us to stand in awe of being who is so completely, comprehensively, supremely, and totally sufficient, who always has been, is now, and always be so perfect that there is no way to describe Him other than I am. Brothers and sisters, this is the entity that is trying to communicate with you every day. If we just open up our heart to it, the perfect, most flawless being in this universe is communicating to us and wants to teach us and guide us. But we close our heart to Him because we think we know everything. We think that we deserve better. But you know what? Maybe we should be more humble. We should open up our hearts. We should stay silent. We shouldn't just throw words at God, complaining about how our life sucks. Instead, we should, I don't know, be like a listener. And a practical way to do this is tonight, before you go to bed, just close your eyes and instead of going through the same repeat prayer of, Dear God, thank you for today, thank you for a wonderful day, sit down, just feel God's presence. You don't have to activate it because God is present everywhere. He's always there. It's just that we don't acknowledge it. So feel His presence, acknowledge it, and let Him talk to you. I can assure you it's a wonderful experience. And if you've done this or you've done this in the past, go in the comments below and share your own experience with this because there's someone out there reading the comments looking for inspiration to listen to God, and you might be able to inspire that person. God bless. Hope you listen well to what God has to tell you. I'll see you tomorrow.